Hey, Brandon here. Welcome back to another episode of the 2023 NFL Draft Rookie Report. Today, we got an exciting player, one of my favorite players heading to the 2023 draft, and that is wide receiver, SMU receiver, Rashee Rice, been one of my favorite players entering into the season, and he is killing it right now. He is currently leading college football through week 11 in reception yards. Exciting player. We're going to look at his 2022 film. We're going to talk about his expected draft capital, and we're going to talk about his potential future dynasty value, as he is obviously going to go to the NFL draft next year. It'll be interesting to see where he gets drafted, and we're going to talk about all of that. As always, I am joined by my good friend and co-host, Jason DiRienzo. He is a recent graduate of the Scouting Academy, as well as co-founder of the Devy Watch website. Jason, are you excited to talk about it, Rashee Rice, as much as I am?
I don't know if I'm excited as much as you are, Brandon, because I know this is your boy, but I'm definitely excited.
Okay, well, good. Well, let's get right into it then. All right. So listen, he's going to be one of the bigger receivers going to the draft, right? He's 6'2", 203 pounds through week 11. He has 77 receptions. Again, like I just mentioned, he's leading the college football in reception yards at 1,167 with 9 TDs. So he's been really, really productive. This was the year that it was his show. He lost a lot of players last year. He was probably the second or third receiver last year. 3 guys went to the draft, and all of a sudden he was vaulted into the number 1 wide receiver role. The defenses know that, and he's still been super productive. Now, at the end of the show, I'm going to link 2 scouting films for you as well. So after you hear me and Jason talk about his scouting profile, his athletic profile, you're going to be able to go and click on those films. So you're going to be able to kind of get right into watching those to see if you see what we see. But before we get to his scouting report, let's talk about some PFF stats. These are all through week 11. His snap location, something that I think is interesting to look at, only because we want to see how versatile these players are going to the NFL. Now, he played 82% out wide. He's played 18 in the slot, so he's played boundary most of this season. He's going to be one of the, maybe a handful of, I think, top 10, top 12, 13 wide receivers that are going to be possibly playing the X and Z receiver on the boundary. I think it's something worth noting. His catch percentage, we're going to talk about a little bit in depth here soon, is 60%, not the number that I like to see. Yards per reception, 15. Shows you kind of he's an explosive receiver downfield. Average depth of target, 11.9. That's also very, very good and above average. His yak per reception, 6.2. You know what? That's probably a little average, maybe even a little above average. So anything about those numbers or stats, Jason, that you want to make a comment
on? Just the 15 yards per reception. It's kind of what you see on film. He's a downfield type of guy, and he's made some big plays that way.
Yes, he has. So let's get into a scouting report. Let's talk. We're going to go through these 5 traits as we do with all of these shows. His release and route running. I thought these are kind of notes from my Devy dashboard scouting report that I'm kind of reading here. He's a long strider. I think he has a good release package. I think he gets upfield quickly. I think he's smooth. I think he's got some good balance. I think he's a defensive manipulator. What I've seen with bottle subtleties, his body control and movements and head fakes. I think he's got good hip sync at the top of his stems. I think overall, I thought he was a really good route runner. Did you see the same thing?
Slightly the same thing. I do like the arsenal that he uses at the line of scrimmage as far as footwork and even using his hands to swipe and swim past defenders. I like the fact that he's kind of using a lot of stemming to manipulate and hit the opposite direction that the defender thinks he's going. So I think he does good on his breaks. Within the release, I'm not sure, but I didn't see a lot of acceleration that I wanted to see from him, eating into the cushion pretty quickly. That was a spot that I was a little concerned about, but overall, I think he has a solid release and a decent route runner for basically what he's asked to do at SMU. Is kind of hard to really get a whole blueprint.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely comes from that spread offense, and which a lot of these college kids come from. You just have to hope he has that athleticism. Now his ball skills and hands. Let's talk about this, because this is the one area that I do have a little bit of concern about with his 60% catch rate. I think his ball skills at the catch point. I think he's got a good dense frame. He's physical. I think he has decent body control. There was a ton of underthrown balls that he had to really step back from, make those adjustments, come back to the ball, go up, and which make a lot of the times look like he didn't create space, only because he had to deaccelerate to go back and get those balls. But I thought he wanted to catch point. He's a big kid. He's physical. I just think the drops are what concerns me a little bit because he does have those on his film. And like we talked about pre-show, he's got a little bit of a ball security issue in the second level, especially when he's getting tackled. He seems to cough up the ball a little bit more than I would like. But overall, from a ball skills, I thought, he's made some tremendous catches. I don't think he's got the cleanest hands in the world, but overall, I thought he was pretty solid.
Yeah, I think he's pretty solid too. It's very frustrating. You'll see him make an incredible catch. There was one over the shoulder pass that he caught, extended his hands out in the back pylon for a touchdown. And I'm watching him do that, and then I watch him make an easy drop, and I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, the inconsistency is just frustrating at this point. But at the
Yeah.
same time, when I see that he can do it, that makes me feel a little bit better. He just got to get more consistent about the ball security and the hands. He's got 9 drops on the season, so that's not what you want to see. But at the same time, I've seen him make some pretty impressive catches, so I'm banking on that's who he is.
Yeah, exactly. Now his acceleration and speed, he doesn't have the long speed. That's not his game. He's more of a physical receiver. I think he showed pretty good acceleration, getting into the open field quickly. What I really like, and we're going to kind of talk about that really is the next trait, is his yak ability, but I liked his acceleration after the catch point, turning up field and, creating space a little bit. I saw 5 or 6 plays that I thought was really impressive. As soon as he caught the ball, he was able to turn around, had the athleticism to turn upfield, and I really liked on his film.
I think you and I are going to disagree here. I know which plays you're talking about, but at the same time, there were times where he would catch the ball, get like a knee attempt, tackle attempt, and I just didn't see him get the acceleration I wanted after the catch to, gain initial yards. So I'm not sure about the acceleration once he's made contact. That is a big question mark for me. I wasn't that impressed with it.
Okay, cool. His yak after, his yards after catch, he's not going to be a burner. That's not his game. I thought he had showed some athleticism, making some guys miss, but there wasn't a ton on film of him. He's not the guy that's going to beat you downfield. He's not the guy that's going to, really take off and get additional yardage. He's going to be more that boundary receiver, but I think he's got some ability to yak, but I don't think that's going to be his calling card in the NFL.
No, I agree with you. He's more of your boundary, box out physical type of receiver, and we'll get into that.
Yeah, so his athleticism, physicality, probably just above athleticism, but his physicality is what I really like when I see him play. He's big at the catch point. I think he's tough to get down on the ground. I liked everything. He's got that my ball mentality. So I think he's got that ability to win on the boundary, through his physicality. It's not going to be through the speed of beating everyone downfield. Although I did see a few plays where, he was able to stack defenders and get downfield. But I think from a physicality standpoint, he brings all the tools to the table for that.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And I like the strength throughout his route, too. He doesn't allow defenders to knock him off, and he stays on time. And that's a big aspect of his game, too.
So let's talk about his draft capital, right? Where do you think his draft capital is? Do you see him as a day 2 guy, or you think he slips into day 3?
I think he's a day 3 guy. I could see 5th, 6th round.
Okay. Yeah, I think I got him a little higher than that. I think he could slip into the last day 3 or round 3 rather, maybe round 4. There's not a lot of bigger boundary receivers. You got Tillman, you got Quentin Johnston. So if there's a team I think that's out there, I don't think they're going to reach for him if they don't like him, but I think he's got the he's going to be one of the bigger receivers if a team is actually looking for that. So rookie draft selection. You think he's a round 2 guy, or are you down in round 3 on this guy?
I think maybe late 2, early 3, depending upon landing spot and opportunity.
Okay.
Yeah.
His fantasy projection. Now, I don't think he's going to be a wide receiver 1 on a team. Do you see him being a wide receiver 2? I can see him being a very good, complementary number 2 or 3 piece. I don't think he's the alpha guy as much as I like him as a player. I don't think that's going to be his role. But I could see him being that, 3rd guy, 2nd guy on a team.
Yeah, I think 3rd guy. I'm more of a wide receiver 3, which is still, he's got that wide receiver 2 upside, I'll call it. But I think he's a solid 3.
So I got a landing. We're going to talk landing spots, right? Because now we're going to talk about a little dynasty, and I got the Chicago Bears. So you're probably not really happy with me right now, right? You're probably
I don't
want this guy on my team because I know you're a Chicago Bears fan. Should I change that on the screen right here? Should I change it to somebody else?
No, I like it. I'll tell you what. Put him in that Equanimeous St. Brown role, and I'm all about it. Another tall receiver to put N'Keal Harry and Chase Claypool in there, and I like what we're rolling with. So I don't mind that at all.
All right, what's your landing spot?
Yeah, I think the Giants are looking for someone to fill in what they wanted out of Kenny Galladay, and I could see Rashee Rice being that guy. And immediate opportunity would be there for him as far as being one of the bigger receivers out there right away along the perimeter. Maybe Danny Dimes gets it going, maybe it's somebody else, but I think Rashee Rice can overcome that because of just the way he uses his catch radius and his adjustment to the ball. I don't think it'd be a problem even if he has an erratic thrower at the helm.
Oh, you're sending him to the Giants to die. I mean,
I'm not sending the
that's
Giants
what
to die.
you're sending him to the Giants to die. That's
Nah,
cool.
I wouldn't do that to Rashee Rice. I like Rashee Rice.
So everyone goes to the Giants to die, it seems like. So player comp, I was watching Terry McLaurin, and I'm not making this comp that I'm making it more from a physicality standpoint, watching him last night and his ability to go up and get the ball from a physical standpoint. But again, Terry McLaurin, I don't think he's one of those guys that's going to beat anyone downfield, but I see similarities to their game.
Yeah, I could see that. It's the route running. I think Terry McLaurin's on a whole different level, but I completely understand what you're saying as far as the physicality, contested catches and different things like that. I agree there. I have a comp of Jacoby Myers, and I think the same kind of path could be taken where even if he is a day 3 guy, I think his talent always rises. I think he does have the talent to rise. And Jacoby Myers, he wasn't an early round selection, and he kind of rose to the occasion for the Patriots. I could see something very similar with Rashee Rice. So regardless of draft capital, I think the talent is going to be too hard to keep off the field.
Very nice. Very nice. All right, guys. Like I said, that is the show on Rashee Rice. I expect him to be, probably like we talked about, maybe round 3, 4, 5, but hopefully he hits our dynasty rosters. I'm certainly hoping so. I have many shares and really like Rashee Rice. So that's the show. Like I said, I'm going to drop 2 scouting films here right now so you can take a look at yourself and watch his film. So thanks for watching. We've done a ton of these shows. We've done Jalen Hyatt. We've done Blake Corum, Jordan Addison. We're going to do every rookie heading to the 2023 draft. So again, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next show. Thanks.